I'm starting to venture into Oompa Loompa territory. I swear to God, they put the L-Net hairspray into this and now it's on my face. Wait a minute. Ooh.
Okay.
I don't know how to feel about that. Hey, welcome to my video. If you're from my Instagram, I love you. And if you're not from my Instagram, love you all the same. I'll be testing a lot of viral products for the first time to see how I really feel about them and how they actually perform. And before we begin, I just have to say, I bought all of this with my own money. None of this is sponsored or PR in any way, shape, or form. So I really have no reason to lie. I am gonna be letting you know the true tea. So if that sounds like something you might be interested in, then please keep watching and let's get into the video. Okay, so I only have a little bit of eyeliner on and my eyebrows are done. So since that's the case, I suppose let's finish the eyes first. And we're gonna do that by using mascaras. Now, I said plural because we're gonna be using two. We have one normal one and one really fun one you'll see in a minute. But let's first start off with the regular mascara. Now, this one is Essence Lash Princess, and it's one that I have already tried. And honestly, my review is I'm gonna use it up, obviously, but would I personally repurchase this one? No, and let me explain. I think over the years, Essence improved a lot of their formulas, and so I will give the brand that. However, this mascara is just not for me personally. In terms of volume, it does give quite a bit of volume, but it really doesn't lengthen the lashes at all. You might look at my eyelashes right now and think differently. However, I do have a lash lift currently, and so they look lifted because they are lifted. It has nothing to do with this mascara, but it does give a nice amount of volume. Me personally, however, I'm looking for the best of both worlds, so that's why I wouldn't really buy this one again. Okay, we're gonna give that a second to dry down, and then we're gonna go in with our second coat of our second mascara. Now, this one I'm really looking forward to, by the way. This is the Maybelline Sky High mascara, and as you know, it's gone viral, and so has this shade specifically. It's called Space Diamond, and what it is, it's like a glittery, shimmery mascara, and I've seen people apply this on top of their regular mascara just to add a little bit of glitz. I just bought this, and I think this would be so fun and great for the holidays, so I'm really looking forward to see what it's giving. There is also a gold variant, but I was always more of a silver girly. Okay, so I just applied that, and honestly, it looks really fun. I don't know how much the camera will be able to pick up on it, but it gives off this really subtle, cute, silvery glitter. It kind of looks like I have magical snowflakes on my lashes, and it would look pretty special when the light hits, so I love that. Okay, now let me pin my hair back, and let's move on to the face. Now, before I go in with one of the products that I'm most excited by, I'm just applying my regular pore filling primer just around the T-zone area because I do this with any and all foundations anyway. And so if I want to judge this foundation properly, I'm gonna have to do it now here too. But I'm not gonna be applying any primer on the rest of my face. As far as foundation goes, Haus Labs. I have been wanting to try this for so long, and you don't even know what I went through to get it shipped to my country, girl. But now that it's finally here, I'm just going straight in. Now, I will not only be judging the foundation here, I'm also gonna be judging the shade because I didn't shade match myself here. Haus Labs has a cute little shade matching tool on their website, and I was like, you know what? Let me try and use that and see what they think my perfect match would be. And so this is the shade that I got. It's shade 040 Fair Neutral. And let me tell you, I put way too much on because this is extremely full coverage right out the gate. And this is a perfect day to test it, honestly, because I have a lot of little imperfections, a lot of little blemishes right here. So we're gonna know exactly what time it is. And you know what? Honestly, I think we can tell the time right about now. I mean, the difference is crazy, girl. And I also love, honestly, how this makes my skin look. Like, for how full coverage it is, I don't look crazy cakey in person. Wait, let me get a closer look before I make that statement. But no, yeah, actually, I did not tell a single lie. My skin looks so pretty. Okay, so this time I'm gonna use a little bit less. Anyways, while I do that, I wanted to mention that I heard that this foundation actually has a lot of skincare properties. So this is something I knew, but like, you never know what it's actually gonna look like until it's on your face. But I had no reason to doubt Mother Monster because this looks so good. Look at, honestly, if you don't have huge purple dark circles like myself, you could probably get away with only wearing just this. Like literally no concealer. Wow. She's beautiful. And you know what? Now that I'm looking at myself, I think the shade is a pretty decent match. Okay, the shade is a little bit too light, but I'm mad because on camera, it looks way, way too light. The footage is blown out, I promise. I also see myself in the viewfinder and I look like a mime, like I look really white, but it's not what it's giving in person, okay? You're just gonna have to trust me on that. And also, even if it did, I'd much rather have a foundation be slightly too light for me than too dark, because I can always add bronzer to this and like warm it up, versus if it's too dark, I just end up looking like an Oompa Loompa, and I have many a times in my life, and I don't wanna go back to that place, okay? One last thing I'm gonna talk about here is how the foundation feels, and honestly, it does not feel heavy at all. And like you were able to see, I put a lot on this side, okay? And it still doesn't feel too heavy. So I'm already so glad that I purchased this foundation. Everybody was raving about it, and now I'm gonna be one of those people too. Right, now as far as concealer goes, we're gonna be using multiple. For dark circles, we have to use the iconic Instant Age Rewind by Maybelline. Now, I've been using this concealer for forever, but I feel like recently, Gen Z and the younger generations have started figuring it out, and everybody's commenting on the applicator, which some people adore. I personally not so much. I don't know if that's like blasphemy, but it's my truth, okay? So this has been making its rounds on TikTok, and for good reason. I mean, honestly, it covers a multitude of sins. Now, right here, I'm using shade 05. It's a kind of peachy shade, so it's gonna cover up the purples really nicely. Now, I'm gonna let that sit on my eyes for a second, and while I do that, I'm gonna be covering up my blemishes and redness with Tarte Shape Tape. This is the Radiant version though, but it really doesn't matter. We all know Shape Tape is really heavy duty. I feel like it got really, really popular in like 2016, maybe even earlier, but honestly, it's never not trending. And I just applied that to all of my other little problem areas. Although honestly, the foundation pretty much covered everything up, but Shape Tape is really gonna take it to that next level. Okay, now back to the dark circles. I'm just gonna blend in the concealer with my finger. I wanna make sure I don't have any creasing going on, because the next step is setting. Now, as far as setting powder goes, I'm gonna be using the Flawless Skin Trio by Essence. And I tested this one out for my TikTok when it really blew up. And let me be vulnerable, I didn't like it. I am trying it again today because maybe I did it wrong, and here's how. So there's this removable plastic cover, and you use that if you wanna use all of the shades in this powder. And I said, well, let's just do that. Now, it turns out I didn't like the way it looked. I don't know, maybe I'm not used to it, maybe it's something else, maybe it's all of the shades. But today I decided I'm just gonna be using one shade, and it's the peachy pinky one, the lightest one, and hopefully that's gonna look better. I blotted some out on my hand here, and now I'm just gonna look up and set my under eyes. Okay, see, now that's much less pink than it was last time already, which is good. I really love pink.
Love pink.
But not for my under eyes, I don't think. Now, I'm not gonna wait for this to bake. I'm immediately gonna set it and press it into the skin with a fluffy brush and see what we got here. Okay, you know what? I don't know, I still don't think it's my thing. It's much better than it was when I swirled all the colors together. And I do feel like it combats the purpleness of my dark circles nicely. But also, if you happen to get any of your cheek like I did here, it doesn't look too good, but I'm sure that can be sort of neutralized with some setting spray. So I'll try that later. I'm not too worried with how that looks right now. But right now, I just wanna set the T-zone a little bit too. And I'm gonna do this with the Catrice Cosmetics Magic Shine Eraser. Now, I don't even have to tell you how viral this went. If you're on the internet, you know about it, okay? And I did test this out for my TikTok as well. I did use a powder puff though. And then I found out that maybe it's better if you just use your finger. So I'm gonna be attempting that today and just praying and hoping that it doesn't remove my beautiful foundation that I love so much. You know what I don't like about this product is that it definitely works. Like, it removes the shine, but this being transparent is such a gimmick because any other like matte setting powder would also remove the shine. So the only wow factor to this is that it's like see-through, I guess, and that it has this unique texture. However, the texture doesn't help if it rubs off any of the foundation you already have going on, and it did rub off some of mine last time. As far as I can see, it's rubbing off some right now too. I'm gonna stop and look at myself. Yeah, the finger method, I don't think it helped, and I still don't like this product. So I personally don't know why it's viral. Other people love it though, so I mean, I'm not gonna yuck anybody's yum, but I'm gonna put it down and move on because it is not for me. This is the foundation that it took off of my face. That's crazy. Anyway, okay, now we're gonna bronze, and for this, we're gonna be using the Buttermelt Bronzer by NYX. Now, I've been wanting to try this line for a while, but it's always basically been sold out, and I didn't wanna order this from, ooh, okay, wow, okay. Wait, let me stop talking and just apply this because I got a little too excited, although, wait a minute, ooh. Okay, I'm starting to look like a mess now. Let me try and fix this. At first, I was really excited because it's pretty pigmented. And you know, I mean, that's kind of the standard that NYX gives, but you never know. But now, looking at it, this shade, it's a little too orange. I'm not sure that I'm the biggest fan, but it is a bronzer. It's not contour. So I don't expect it to be cool toned. And also I picked my own shade, you know what I mean? But even with all those things, it's still pretty orange. I don't know how it's coming up on camera, but in person, I'm starting to venture into Oompa Loompa territory. Okay, let me just do my jawline a little bit, just ever so slightly. And then I'm gonna take whatever's left over on my beauty sponge and just go over everything. I wanna look a little less crazy if possible. I now warmed my face up entirely too much. Okay, that's better. Now, I will say, I took macro shots of this bronzer earlier for my social media, and it has this sort of pearlescent quality that is not visible to the naked eye, at least not to me. So I was worried about how this is gonna look on the skin. And it's not mattifying, but it's also not shimmery, which is good. I don't like a shimmery bronzer. It just kind of looks like healthy skin, and I think I'm okay with that. Speaking of the Buttermelt line, we now have a Buttermelt blush. This, I can't tell you how excited I am about this. If you have watched this channel, you know that I absolutely adore blush, and I love a shimmery blush. I use one on a daily basis, and this one is kind of shimmery. It's a little bit light for me. Like, I like a really pinky blush. Although I do have blush blindness, so there's always that to take into consideration. But yeah, it is a little light, and again, I picked the shade. However, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I would just maybe get a little bit of a darker shade as well, so that I can add some depth, because there's not much depth going on right now. However, we do have another Buttermelt highlighter. I got it in a pink shade. So, I mean, is it gonna add depth? Probably not, but it's gonna make my cheek look sickening. And I am completely here for it. Let me try and not go overboard. I'm gonna apply this to the very tops of my cheeks first, just to see like what it's giving, you know? Ooh, that's really pretty. Okay, I am crazy, look crazy, but that is really pretty. I love blush so much, you guys. I say it in every video, and I'm sorry. I should make a public formal apology to you if you have to listen to this every week. But also, am I sorry? Like, not really. Okay, now I'm also gonna apply some with my finger just to see if we can really get it to pop. Ooh, okay, we certainly can. Love her. Wow, really pretty. Okay, now let me just apply whatever bronzer I have left over on my brush to my nose. I don't know. I like both the bronzer and the blush, and I think that this Buttermelt collection is pretty good. Do I, in this moment, understand why it went as viral as it did? No, it's pretty, but you know, I can't really comment on how it looks in daylight and the staying performance right now, so I might have to update you further in some future video. But right now, I'll definitely say that it is pretty. Ooh, although I did apply a lot. Girl, okay, let me put the brushes down. Before we move on to lips, we're gonna be doing setting spray. This is the Infallible 3-Second Setting Mist by L'Oreal. Now, this is supposed to be a dupe for the One Size setting spray, which everybody loves. I haven't tried it yet, unfortunately, cannot get my hands on it. But this one is allegedly a 36-hour hold, no transfer spray. We'll just see about that. Oh, wow. Is this hairspray? Wait, no, it's like makeup setting spray. I swear to God, they put the L-Net hairspray into this and now it's on my face. I don't know how to feel about that, but apparently the girls love this one because it's super long lasting. And since I can't comment on that yet, I will update you. Okay, now last but certainly not least, lippy. I am using the Huda Beauty Makeout Sesh Lip Duo. What this is like a lip stain, and it's sort of like a marker, which I love. love. So I'm lining my lips with that first. Ooh, what a nice like mauve-y rose shade. I like that. I am gonna overline slightly. It's pretty easy to apply, although I will say I'm having to go over it multiple times to really get that intensity that I want. Now, you are supposed to store this upside down, and I just got this, so I haven't been storing it properly, so maybe that's why. I will give it that. So one thing I will say, maybe for me, I would prefer if the tip to this was super fine and thin so I could really get into the little crevices, but that's just a personal preference. Otherwise, it feels nice on the lips, doesn't smell weird or anything, and it's a pretty shade. I'm just gonna sort of blend it out a little bit. Yeah, see, I would love this to have a fine tip so I could really go into the corners. Moving on to the lip gloss that was a part of this set. This is the Faux Filler lip gloss in the shade, oof, Bombshell. And I'm gonna apply that over top and see. Ooh, okay. Yeah, pigment, hello. Ooh, oh, wait a minute. Wow, this is really pigmented. For a lip gloss? Damn, that's pretty good. Okay, and it's on, as you can see. It's not stringy, it doesn't feel heavy at all. It feels really lightweight, actually. Pretty nice and watery, non-sticky. Let me just check if this is a lip gloss or a lip oil by chance. No, it's actually a lip gloss. That's incredible. It feels more like a nice hydrating lip oil. Love it. And the combo is really pretty, I must say. Okay, now let me let my hair down and give you the final thoughts. Okay, basically, love at first sight for me was the Triclone foundation, like I knew it would be. This is so beautiful, and I have a lot of texture in pores, and this does not accentuate them. I also love the Instant Age Rewind by Maybelline. I have to say, this Huda Beauty lip kit, I am pretty impressed by. I would be interested to know how long this lip stain actually lasts. Obviously, the lip gloss is gonna peace out after like an hour, and that's normal, as every lip gloss does. But allegedly, the lip stain is supposed to stick. So I'll let you know how that goes. But I really love the shade, and it makes my lips look really plump and juicy, and it also like erases some of the texture and wrinkles on my lips, if that makes sense. I also will say that I instantly did fall in love with the Maybelline Sky High mascara. It makes my lashes look really, really pretty. The slight little pieces of glitter are so cute, especially now for the holidays. Other than that, everything else, as you can see, like, it's fine, besides She Who Shall Not Be Named. All of the other products are okay, but am I overly impressed as of this moment right now? No. However, I do normally need a day or two or multiple uses to actually determine how I really feel, because there are a lot of factors that come into play. So do you guys want an update in the future? Let me know. But yeah, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please consider giving it a little like, maybe commenting, subscribing, sharing, all that fun stuff, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.